Yeah, so good morning. So nice to be here. Thanks for the invite. As I said, I'm the Safety, Security and Sustainability Director at West Midlands Trains, or London North Western and West Midlands Railways is our sort of new branding. I'm still very new to the railway. I consider myself less than 2 years in role. My background is from aviation safety, so I spent 20 years in aviation in operational roles, and the last 5 years were with Virgin Atlantic as head of safety. So thank you. It's supposed to be easy to use, wasn't it? I think before I go into some of the details, I wanted to point out, if you look at the slide here on the bottom of it, you've got an emblem called KISS, keeping it simple to be safe. And in echoing some of the words that Richard mentioned around the safety culture aspect and how important that is to get the buy-in of all your teams, especially through this transition period and reform. We've actually branded our safety management system, so keeping it simple to be safe is our safety management system, and it's something that everyone in the train operating company can relate to. It's something we've actually seen in our safety culture surveys over the last year, an increased engagement around it, and some very positive outcomes as a result of keeping it simple. So we're quite proud of that. So I won't go through the stats in detail because that's been gone through before, but certainly the stats that Charlotte mentioned are not unique to us as well. So we have, I think, some high level for ourselves in delay minutes, especially 72,000 minutes of delays associated with trespass instances in the last year, which also has a safety impact for that particular incident, but it also transfers risk across the operation as it's disrupting and that wider safety management piece. So it's important for us. The same on the antisocial behaviour. Across the railway, 8,000 offences on the network, but common types for us around vandalism, graffiti, verbal abuse, intimidation and fare evasion are prevalent. So what are we doing about it? So prevention through design. So one of the big changes we had in the last year, and I can show you some of the effects it's had on statistics, is the introduction of rail safety officers, or security officers. In partnership with our partner in Carlisle, we've actually got 10 dedicated officers across our network, 2 on duty, potentially more at any one time, which we can deploy in a risk-based approach to instances or hotspots that we can determine across our network. Their primary function is to protect our colleagues and our passengers, and they're trained to a really high standard. So through their own training programs, we provide additional training programs on top, and they are specifically associated to our operation. Really proud of what they've achieved over the last year or so, and we're actually looking to increase that. Well, we will be increasing that by a further 20 officers over the next year. So a lot more scale across our network. Very focused around the West Midlands at the moment, but we'll be deploying down to more the West Coast South and London areas over the next few months. Secondary function is just to provide a well-trained and visible presence on the network at all times. And so we can deploy them as we need to on a risk-based approach. A really good example was the national disorder last year, where we had some potential for impact in places like Tamworth. So we had them there present all the time, and really had a positive effect in making our passengers feel safe to continue to travel. So that's a good step. We are increasing the intelligence there, so you can see we've got a dashboard of our own, which allows us to task our RSOs. That's continuing to grow. That's fed through information from our control logs, our control teams, incident reports, and all the data we have. So any more data we can to populate that, the better it is with deploying our teams on a intelligence-based function. So that's going to evolve in the future over the next few months as well. So we've actually got real-time tracking of our RSOs on the network, so we can see how close they are to instances as and when they occur. So we can be a lot smarter from our control aspects and deploy them as needed. Next, I wanted to go through our community engagement education. So really important, spoken about already, and some of the discussions already. Especially internally, recognising some of the good behaviours we've got and good case studies, if you like. So really rewarding that internally with our community champions, lifesaver awards, keeping it simple to be safe champions. We recognise them throughout. Externally, we're doing a lot with the communities as well. A lot of the engagement with things like schools and charities in and around the regions we operate. So really important aspect of allowing us to keep our customers safe. Lastly, on this slide here around our training aspect for our internal employees, so we've got 600 frontline colleagues now that have received dedicated conflict management training. It's 2 sessions they've gone through in that period, and it has seen a reduction of our physical assaults, as you'll see later, in about 35% the last 2 years, which is really impressive. We've also got extended training now for managing work-related conflicts and aggression for frontline managers, which are dedicated sessions we do, and we go out to the front line to deploy those. So all good stuff there. Partnerships, as mentioned today, RSSB, Network Rail, BTP. We can only do this through stronger partnerships. Some of the aspects that we've introduced already, so body-worn cameras for our frontline colleagues. We've got 600 of those deployed at the moment. We're increasing that to 1,200 over the next year, so every individual on the front line will have an issued body-worn camera. Really good capability. Been successful in prosecutions across our network, and as a direct result from the footage that we've seen from those body-worn cameras. Some initiatives that we've done with local authorities and BTP specifically, so I can pull out some examples here. So we had a joint lockdown at Northfield Station in Birmingham last year, where there was an increased focus on antisocial behaviour. So it resulted in 1 arrest, 85 penalty fares, and closer collaborative working with those authorities. In Rail Safety Week actually last year, we did some work on the Cross City line in Birmingham. Again, resulted in some 4 arrests, lots of penalty notices issued, and further strengthened our relations with stakeholders. Something more recent in Milton Keynes was a county lines operation with the British Transport Police, so Operation Bloom. That was across a few days, had some amazing results. Approximately £9,000 of Class A drugs were seized, over £200,000 of Class B drugs were seized, 5 weapons were also seized, and 3 warrants were issued for arrest. So really good work that we're doing with our partners there, and making it safer for our passengers to travel. What's continuing to, in terms of our trespass, probably focus on that now. So investing in technology again. So around cameras, so we're quite an avid user of rapid deployment cameras now, especially at our depots and siding locations. So where we have vandalism hotspots, we'll deploy rapid deployment cameras there, which are constantly monitored, so we can deploy security teams, as and when those barriers are broken through our command centres. Upgrading our CCTV rooms as well, so we've now got, we will have this time next year, all of our stations live CTV streamed through to a one control centre, which is manned by a operative 24/7, and again can alert our control teams and our RSOs to deploy as and when we need to. So really good capabilities there, increasing our intelligence as we go along. So what's this all resulted in then? So you've seen the last 2.5 years worth of data. We've actually seen a steady decrease in the assaults and antisocial behaviour reports that we've seen. Good numbers, that's continuing to decrease. I will caveat that we're still probably missing a lot of information here. A lot of these reports, instances we know happen, aren't necessarily reported, but in terms of a like for like, it does show a decrease. Always more work we can do there, and we're continuing to track this on a periodic basis. What else have we done? So I've already mentioned we're increasing the body-worn cameras across that, increasing our railway security officers, increasing our capabilities of our CCTV, using AI-enabled TTTV as well is coming. Something that was most recently we're quite proud of was the launch of our new safeguarding hub in Wolverhampton, so the second in the country. There was issues of joint work with some of the charity partners there. I'm pleased to say in the last month alone we've had 150 people present themselves at that facility looking for support and help, and they've been referred on for more specialist support. So that's really good capability in an area at Wolverhampton, which we're looking to replicate across our network where we can. So it's good capability. We're also issuing more information to our frontline teams, so cue cards for behaviours and actions that people would take when they're faced with antisocial behaviours. We've got more guidance going out. We're currently leading on violence against women and girls training, and that's being delivered to all frontline safety teams, and then a bit more on cameras there, end of platform cameras coming in as well to our suite. So lots more happening over the next year as well. So that was a very quick whiz through of what we are doing as London North West and West Midlands Railway, and in collaboration with our partners as well, looking to really continue to drive the safety of both our colleagues and passengers on the railway. So that's me. So thank you.